Welcome to the very first Steppin Breaking Boundaries event, a fun series where you get to meet the partners of the Steppin ecosystem, as well as friends who have consistently broken boundaries in fitness, health, community, and charity. My name is Ktrain, and I am your host. We are joined by three amazing guests. First, we have Luca from Outrun Cancer. We have Kelli from the Giving Block, and we have our very own Trevor, head of BD here at Steppin. Hello, everybody. Currently, there is a competition on Twitter. Just check out the Steppin Twitter page. You have the chance to win an Ape OG shoebox, and we will announce that winner at the end of this episode in the YouTube live chat box. We'll also be giving away Steppin activation codes during that time in the same chat box. So let's get into a little bit of introductions. We're going to start with Luca. Luca, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into crypto and Web3? And we want to know, what was your first NFT that you owned?
Okay, thanks, Ktrain. Hi everyone, Luca here from all the way from Australia. First and foremost, I love running, so I'll put that up front so that whatever happens during the show, you know that it comes from a place of I love running. So I'll be talking a lot about running. Um, yeah, how did I get into crypto and Web3? My journey started in 2017, and I did mostly little investing, just my own personal investing and curiosity. I have a background in technology, so I've been fascinated by the whole crypto industry. And but I didn't really get into NFTs until Steppin. So really, my first NFT was my shoe that I still hold in my account because it's yeah, it's very important for me. It's a symbol of stepping into really the metaverse in a sense, and stepping into something bigger that I've been actually dreaming for quite a few years, even before. I guess when I saw Stepping, it was just the realization of a few years of dreaming about something like this happening. So yeah, that's me really.
Kelli, why don't you Web3 and crypto, and what was your first NFT?
Yeah, hi. So thank you so much for having me. I'm Kelli. I'm from the Giving Block. And I kind of got into crypto. I was a finance major, and I remember my professors talking about how crypto is a scam. And but I was like, okay, this is definitely the future. Some of the older generations just didn't see it yet. And so yeah, I kind of got in through a friend, and then kind of fell down like the crypto DeFi rabbit hole, and then from there eventually found my way into NFTs and started doing some stuff with Decentral, which is like a crypto events company, and they have a big event every year in Miami, but right before Art Basel. And so I think my first NFT was on Solana, Folk Tales of Lunaria. I don't even know if it's still around anymore. But yeah, that was back last year, right around this time, I think. So it's been a while, but yeah, I mean, I also really like personal fitness. I'm not a runner. I'm definitely a walker. I don't have good knees, so but I love to walk everywhere. Like I was just in Europe, and I was walking like 10 miles a day, just like exploring and stuff. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Thank you. Uh, Trevor, me and you have been friends for a while, and I don't know if I know your first NFT that you owned. How'd you get into crypto? How'd you get into Web3? And what was your first NFT?
Yeah, happy to be here. So my name is Trevor. I work as the head of business development for Steppin right now. I actually have never heard of the folk tales or like the folklore that you got, Kelly. I'll have to look it up. Um, and I got introduced into crypto actually by my older brother. So it was when I was in high school and like he was just hanging out with people in college and they were talking about Bitcoin. And so we traded like a few Bitcoin in like 2000, I think it was 13 or 2014. We didn't hold, but it was fun. It was a fun experience. And then I just came back during sort of like the market cycles of crypto, diving deep, a little bit deeper each time because I was more curious about like this decentralized blockchain everybody was like talking about. Um, and my first NFT was actually I mean, my brother already was getting NFTs before me, and I wasn't like totally sold, right? But on the buzz, but it was last fall in September, and it was on Ethereum actually. So just keep it hush hush for all my friends on Solana. Um, and it was just like this small project. I just liked the art, and it was yeah, that was pretty much it. And that was my entry point. And then I discovered kind of some Solana NFTs after that.
Awesome. 3 different answers. I like it. I didn't know Ethereum, man. Shout that
Yeah,
one loud.
I know.
Okay, so let's get into some questions. We'll start with Kelli. Last week, yeah, I think it was 8 days ago, in the Steppin app, we were able to earn GMT. And I know over at the Given Block, we can donate our GMT. I was cruising around on that on your guys' site the other day, and I saw that there's just thousands of nonprofit organizations out there that you can donate to. You want to tell us a little bit about the partnership with you guys in Steppin?
Yeah, no, I'd love to. So, the partnership with Steppin is basically you can come and donate any of your GMT that you would like. So right now, I think we still have it going where we have these things called impact index funds. And so it's like a fund made up of different nonprofits that are aligned by a certain theme. So we have like animals, women's empowerment, environment, healthcare, kind of all across the board, you name it. And right now we still have matching. So if you come donate your GMT, your donation is getting matched. I think we still have maybe 2 million left in matching dollars. So, even if you can't donate very much, you can really still make an impact. But yeah, we are really excited to have you guys on board, and it's great to be able to add another token. We have over 80. I want to say we have around like 86 or 87 now, but we still have capabilities to do more than that. Those are just the ones that are natively on our platform. So, but really excited
Awesome.
about this. So,
Yeah, awesome. When I was on there the other day, I actually was searching by location because I was
mhm.
just curious. Some people like to keep their donations local, or they like to donate to a certain area that means a lot to them. And I was looking up like the ones in the state of Oregon, and there's a lot.
Yeah.
So really cool. You have a lot of options. Um, that's awesome. Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it. Um, let's move on to Luca. Luca, you were on Steppin Daily uh, two days ago, and we talked about your world record-setting run, 24 hours on a treadmill. Um, Man, that was so much fun. I love that story. You are the founder of Outrun Cancer, and I believe during that treadmill world record, you raised over $50,000, and it seems like as a whole, Outrun Cancer has raised over $1 million. You want to tell us a little bit about why you founded Outrun Cancer, and just kind of how you built up that kind of determination and drive and will to achieve such wild and incredible things?
Oh, thank you. So many compliments in one go. I don't know if I can cope with that. And I think before anything, because the reason why I found out Outrun Cancer is it might seem a little bit heavy for a lot of people. I just wanted to just note one important thing that came out also at our Stepping Daily, which is your half marathon coming in January. So just to light up the scene before I talk about that. So this is something that I always
Amazing.
do. So Trevor, watch out because have this tendency of getting people to sign up for crazy runs after I talk about my running. Um,
Yeah,
but
Ktrain made me well aware.
um, so I founded Outrun Cancer with simply the mission to raise awareness and funds for cancer prevention. So in late 2010, my mom was diagnosed of pancreatic cancer, and at that time I was already living in Australia, and my mom was in Italy, and when it happened, really it was a shock for me because I always thought that cancer is something that happens to other people, and so I got into um, panic mode, and I started reading all I could find about cancer. And something that really disturbed me in a sense, but also empowered me, was the discovery of all the prevention aspects of cancer. That back then, we are talking about 2011, it wasn't in the public media that much. So everyone was talking about curing cancer or treating cancer. And I was seeing through my mom that she was going through these incredibly painful treatments to only extend her life, not to really uh, make a great difference. And the percentage also of success was minimum. And then on the other side of the medal, there was all this prevention, and basically it's now a scientific fact that it's estimated that at least a third of all cancers can be prevented through lifestyle choices, and some of these lifestyle choices are around and diet. So for me, that was really a call to action to try to raise awareness and making people aware of this different narrative, and empowering people to with that knowledge. And because I truly believe that once you know something, you cannot unknow it. So I just wanted to really share these different narrative, and also showcase that, yeah, how effective is prevention. So, and it really, when I founded it, it really started from just these only, I mean, my only goal was really to honor my mom. I decided right there and then that I was gonna do a little fundraising. There was I went back to Italy, and I ran a marathon in each regions in Italy in a month to raise funds for cancer prevention, and I raised $50,000 back then. But then things just snowballed. I actually don't know what happened after that, because for the next following years, I started to organize little events in Sydney, in Australia, and I was just sharing my story, and more people got involved, and one thing led to another, and I ended up doing crazy runs as a stunts for raising awareness about outrun cancer, and yeah, it also ended up in a Guinness World Record, a few crazy runs across countries, and yeah, a few other things. But that's probably because again, as I said at the beginning, I really love running. So and again, but I honestly feel that when you have people involved, and running is actually a very good tool to get people moving and involved with your cause, or what you with your mission. And then once you get people just moving, sweating, for something bigger than yourself, is something that remains is very, very powerful. So yeah, as you said, up to now we raised around $1 million for different projects, and something that I really pride myself and the team in Outrun Cancer is that all our money goes to specific prevention projects, and again, that is something that I take particular proud of.
Right on. I like how you said, you know, you don't know what happened. It kind of just snowballed. So maybe, maybe what it is you are so good at convincing other people, and you're so good at convincing yourself. You just can't say no to yourself when it comes to running these crazy races. I love that. And I was telling people on Steppin Daily the other day, like your website is so cool. You just have that little video clip of you running on the treadmill, and you're just so focused. But it looks like you're at a moment where you completed the race, or you got the record, and you just are screaming with joy. The people around you look like they're screaming with joy. It looks like someone might be crying in the background. Like I just love it. You got so much fun and crazy stuff going on around you.
Yeah, it
So
was
man, keep it up.
definitely a magical moment. It was really magical. And again, I think it comes down to, the community and the mission behind. And again, when you do things for reasons of that are above yourself, you just really surprise yourself. But it was definitely a magical moment.
That's awesome. I love it. Thanks for telling us about that. Um, all right, this question will go to Trevor. I've always said that Steppin by far has onboarded the most Web2 users. Um, I don't know if the numbers are out there, but I feel like they are. Um, Based on your experience, can you explain um, why it's so important for the crypto movement to educate and onboard Web3 users, Web2 users onto Web3?
Yeah, absolutely. Steppin is a leading example in the Web3 industry today for onboarding Web2 users um, in an industry that is usually, really foreign and has a lot of abstract concepts, right? To your average person being introduced to crypto and blockchain concepts that are hard to digest like immediately, and also the utility, right? So I think it's incredibly important not only that maybe like in crypto people continue finding more utilities and applications, but it's even more important to strike the middle ground for what is you know what what drives people towards using something in web 3 that feels familiar from web 2, because when you strike something right in the middle, then you're finding like true utility of a decentralized network for everybody. And Steppin does a great job at this. It brings a familiar concept of just exercising outside, which we've all done before, maybe at one point or another, and it brings that back and just overlays these blockchain concepts to teach you about the blockchain, how to use wallets, what are NFTs, how you can use NFTs, and it gamifies it too, right? So like that, those those concepts and like tying it all together makes it more familiar to everybody in Web 2.
Yeah, I think some people that hop into Steppin and that is their introduction into crypto have it really easy.
Yeah, I
It's
was
just
gonna say I love hearing people's first NFT stories, like, and also like when you get into crypto and when you bought your first NFT. I think it's always like sentimental and unique, and it's always super exciting when I hear like Steppin was my first NFT, and then people are so passionate about like the use of it, right? Like it's a great use of NFTs and utility, because this is an old age question for many crypto projects, new and old, about driving utility for your NFT project. It's very important, you know, foundation for your project.
yeah, and I like how you kind of pointed out like it makes it easier when we're incorporating something that everybody or most people have done, got outside and either walked or went for a run. So Steppin is kind of like, getting people to use crypto and they're making it, easy and familiar.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to fitness, I know me especially, I could get maybe a couple days in a row of getting outside and running prior to Steppin. And it's just that consistency that's hard to crack. And what about Steppin? do you see that helps stop that consistency issue that we see in getting up every day out off the couch and getting outside and moving? Trevor.
Yeah, for sure. I think that is, kind of like the secret sauce behind Steppin is this addicting, habit forming game that they've created where people come back to the app day and day. You see your progress, how many kilometers, your total distance that you've ran. You see other major community members reaching milestones they never thought were achievable before, and it's still mind-boggling. The community members that I've met in Steppin that I've never thought I'd be so close to, like ultra runners, endurance runners, and it really starts to make it more real when you see just, you're like your average user, average person who wasn't crazy about working out start to use Steppin. And there's this other elements that make exercising outside running where you get to like earn some blockchain rewards, right? This new idea that nobody's done before. So you're just being rewarded, for exercising with some token rewards. And then you also get to take part in this game with your shoe. You have different attributes and gem sockets and all these other elements and dimensions that make it more exciting every day, especially as the team and we update different features on the roadmap to release and come up with that keep it dynamic, fresh, and exciting for people to come back and explore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
if I
keeps
can
me.
add something, sorry to jump
Oh,
in
yeah.
because I'm super excited. You're talking running. You can't use the word running and I can't, and I don't jump in. Now, if I can add something, I'll say that for me, again, the key point that you just said, the consistency is incredible, and the compound effect of the consistency for running is essential for not just for running, for everything in life. What I personally, as an ultra runner, ultra consistent in my running, is it gives you the motivation. So
Mm.
even I love running, but getting up every morning to go for your run is hard. At the moment, is really I got my gear ready in front of the door, and my phone is there, and is an extra motivation for me to go out and running. And also one thing that really for me is an important key is the if you see how the game also is being developed, so anyone can start with a walker and then they gradually and organically progress to a jogger, and then you start from 10 minutes a day. I started from 10 minutes a day, and then organic wallets, and also the way it grows, it just it's I don't know if it was by design or by God intervention, but really allows people to grow in their own capability of running with the wallet getting bigger and having more energy to spend. So and as you said, Trevor, the other thing is after the time is also perfect. It came out during or after COVID, and people even for me it was hard to go out and run every day on my own because all the people that I used to go to now, they all have a different life, and now you have this virtual community that is not virtual because there are events every morning, challenges and Twitter spaces, all that, and you are truly connected. So yeah, as I said, it's by design or by a higher force. It actually fit in very, very well. And again, going back to my core mission is I love to see people moving. And yeah, we got so many examples of people 9 months ago, they just they were just walkers. They couldn't run for 10 minutes, and now they're signing up for marathons. And not even coaches can help you to get to that stage in 9 months. And I'm not making this up. There are a lot of people just taking that, and the progress has been organic and nobody forces on you. So the motivation is not external by somebody telling you to do something, but it's internal from yourself. So that's when you break all the boundaries. Sorry, I get
Yeah, I mean,
excited.
good.
Can I jump in too and say something?
Yeah, of
So
course.
I think two things. So I think this is super cool, and I think Trevor kind of hit it right on the head. Like, basically, I think this will be the perfect way to get my parents into crypto, actually, especially with NFTs. They both, I don't know if anyone else's parents do this, but they love to count their steps, and they'll be like, "Oh, I hit my step goal today." And so I feel like something like this is the perfect way to onboard, some of those traditional Web2 users. And actually, when I first joined the Giving Block back in April, I had heard of Steppin, really big fan of Steppin. And my boss, actually, Pietro, he was like, "Have you heard of Steppin?" Like, he's like, "I've, been going on runs and all this stuff." And he was telling me how one of his friends was a really early Steppin user and actually paid for his entire master's program with the rewards that he earned on Steppin. So it really is life changing. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. There's so many reasons to use Step, and I just have so much fun. It's a game. You see yourself growing in it. You have to have strategy. I'm big on community, so I love just hopping on Twitter, a Twitter space or in the Discord or whatever, and just listening or reading other people talk about strategies, maybe hopping in and kind of debating on what is the best strategy. And now that there's GMT earnings in the game, the strategies have just opened up immensely. I mean, now, Trevor might be doing a different strategy than Luca, and I might be doing a different one, than everybody. And Kelli might have picked the right one to do. And it's just fun to like see your friends kind of grow in their health, and then also kind of grow in their, if they get the strategy right. Sometimes you might want your friend to get the strategy wrong. I don't know though. Kelli, can you talk a little bit about the crossover between Web3 and charity?
Yeah, I'd love to. I think really like the crossover, it's pretty exciting. I mean, the Giving Block kind of is right into that intersection. We do have over 2,000 nonprofits that we work with globally. As you were saying, you were using the search function by location. And I've just seen it grow tremendously. I think we've raised over $100 million in donations. And we've been around for a while, but it really started to take off in 2020 and 2021. But I think what I really love about Web3 is obviously decentralization and all of that, but also the community aspect. So how much of the community, especially with NFTs, just genuinely wants to give back to that same community and, outside of that to Web2 and beyond. So I think what's really cool is when we get to see these nonprofits coming into, Web3 and just all of the intersection of that. So like some of our like most recent examples, I guess, we actually just had, there was actually a small party. The Punks and Apes community actually hosted it. I don't know if anybody knows the Ape Father, but he's huge into working out. It's a lot of what he tweets about. And he wanted to have a party at I'm Not Art. It's a NFT gallery in Chicago. And he wanted to have a competition to see which community could raise the most money for Riley's Children's Hospital in Indiana. So it was just a fun get together, very great with like the different communities, and they raised over $55,000 just by like hanging out. So the amount that this can really, change is just huge, right? Because before, like a lot of nonprofits are like, oh, crypto, it's not a thing, but they see how life-changing it really is, right? We've done a lot of other things too, and some of the community is so amazing. Like we had a drop with Stella Artois, and they worked with Vayner NFT and Art Blocks, and they on World Water Day had these NFTs with 100% of the proceeds going to water.org. And like 3 or 4 hours, they sold out and raised like over $350,000. So it's pretty crazy what can happen when the community starts to rally around a cause. And I think, you know, now that you can donate your Steppin, like, is kind of like a marathon, right? Like, hey, I went on a run today and I just want to give back. I want to do something for cancer. I want to do something for the environment. And you can just say, hey, I'm just going to donate, you know, and my proceeds today, right? And I think that's really powerful because it gives you that other motivation, right? Because you're doing something for a good cause. And that's something I really love about my job is these kinds of partnerships, because it's just so meaningful and we can really make meaningful change, and see the really good side of crypto and NFTs. So I mean, there's so many examples, but it's really exciting to see partnerships like this and to see communities that are like built, like you were saying, like it's coming from within, but you get up and you have this whole community. So think if you could have a bunch of Steppin users and they all kind of want to like, hey, today we're going to go on a run together and we're all going to donate. I think that's a pretty cool thing to be able to do. So
That's really cool. And I know, like, when I see on Twitter, maybe some kind of organization tweets that, hey, now you can donate in crypto, you kind of see that like crypto trend where, you know, a couple people donate, tweet about it, and crypto just, like you said, has that community that sticks together and really wants to make a change. So that's cool that we're seeing those kind of trends out there. So we got a one more question for Trevor, and then we've got some audience questions that we can get to. Um, so Trevor, as we know, the Steppin team has been building a lot lately, and they continue to build. Shitty wrote a nice thread, and she mentioned building. Can you tell us a little bit about the plans of extending the Steppin ecosystem, um, or should I say the Find Satoshi Lab ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. I can speak to that. So yeah, I mean, first I just want to say being a part of Steppin is really incredible, and the team and the co-founders and everybody that I work with and everybody in the community has such a large vision for the project, and like um, you know, everything that like we could achieve, and so it's really amazing to like be a part of like the vision and the team trying to build that, continue to grow Steppin. Um, but not just that, yeah. So Steppin, right, comes from Find Satoshi Lab team, uh, and we're looking to continue to build more value for the community by expanding the product line of Find Satoshi Lab, that is adjacent to Steppin, and continue to build more apps and partnerships to accrue value to GMT, which is our governance token. It's, you know, our largest token, the market cap today for, I'd say, Find Satoshi Lab. And so definitely watch, click the bell on Steppin to subscribe to notifications, because there will certainly be some updates in the coming weeks and towards the end of the month that we're very excited about. And while I can't say too much more, I also wanted to say that we are hiring for more roles. So we're hiring for a bunch more roles in across partnerships, marketing, and PR. So please feel free to get in touch with HR@steppin.com with your CV and how you think you can add value to the Steppin team. We'd be happy to hear from you and and your experience, and see if you'd be a good fit for Steppin. And yeah, so there's a ton of aside from that, there's a ton of exciting announcements, like I said, coming in the next few weeks. So keep your eyes peeled and click the bell to subscribe to all the tweet notifications for Steppin. And Ktrain, I'm sure he'll be tweeting about it.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, man. Steppin has just always been building, and it's like they're not gonna stop. So I love it. Yeah, check that out. HR@steppin.com. Give it a shot. So we have a couple questions from the audience. The first one is for Kelli. Can UK charities sign up to receive donations via the Giving Block?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So we actually have, I think, I haven't checked in a while, but I know we have over 20 nonprofits that are UK based. So they can most definitely sign up. And the way that it'll work is when the crypto gets off ramped, they'll get it to their bank account in British pounds. So they don't have to worry about receiving like US dollars or anything like that. But yeah, we have a bunch of UK based nonprofits. So feel free to reach out. I don't know if I think is anything of mine linked so that they can like reach out to me in the DMs or anything. There's my Twitter. I don't know. I think it's somewhere. So definitely, I think it should be linked in a tweet on Steppin. And I would be happy to go over everything and see if we can get you onboarded. So
Right on. Thank you. The next question isn't for anybody in particular, but I could probably guess who wants to answer it. The question is, as someone who started with walking and trying to work my way up to running, what advice can you offer for starting to run if you've never done it before?
Take it.
Yeah, I guess we'll let Luca take it.
Okay, just sit down. It's gonna be a half an hour conversation. No, seriously. Actually, I think there are only a few key elements to be aware of. So, firstly, I say not to rush. So, what I mean for it is that um, going from walking to run can also be something to start with. That means going for walk runs. And so instead of just deciding that tomorrow you're gonna, because you were able to walk for 5 kilometers, go and run for 5 kilometers, maybe you can break it down to walk for 1 kilometer and run for 500 meters and then carry on, or half a mile or whatever that is. And so that's the first step. But the second step, I think, is very important, and it's that of choosing the right shoes. You'd be surprised how many people they go running with shoes that are not suited for running, and you can go to run if they know their weight of about running. They should be able to advise you on the right shoes for you to suit you, so that you avoid all kind of injuries, and also making sure that you change your shoes regularly. And last but not least, I think this comes with it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, because if you were to play golf, would you go and have some golf lessons? Probably you would. So sometimes it's also worth maybe going and see a running coach, or maybe somebody that has some running experience, to look over how you run, and he might give you some tips on how to, maybe you are landing, or your cadence, or how your body is moving, and that might again make the difference between getting an injury or running pain free and enjoying the running. And then one last one is there is this formula which is not scientific, but it goes back to my first point, that taking things gradually. So in the running community, the wisdom is that you should never push yourself, your weekly volume, more than 20% of your previous week. So again, if you started and you did say 10 kilometers as a week, the following week you can't go straight to 20, but you go up 20% to 11 or 12 kilometers. And again, that's back to consistency and the compound effect of all your fitness. So, but again, hit me up and we did all the questions, and we could spend all night talking about it.
I really didn't understand the importance of the sneakers that you have on your feet. I went into the store yesterday. So after talking to you, Luca, after you inspired me to start long distance running, I went to one of those stores. And it turns out my entire adult life, I've been wearing a whole size too small. And the
Yeah.
shoes that I had been running in lately, they, I guess, were making my feet lean in when my feet want to, I guess, they want to be pushed out a little bit. So it helped me so much. The next run I went for, it felt like I was running on clouds. So yeah, that's a huge thing, and I didn't realize how important that was. So thanks for bringing that up. We got another question here. Trevor, you can go ahead and answer this one. What strategy will you implement to bring non-crypto natives into the ecosystem? How do you keep a balance between developing the technology and also improving the value of your token?
Yeah, so this is an excellent question, and it addresses a few, you know, core, you know, some of our core missions that we aim to achieve, and one of them being is onboarding Web2 users into Web3 in a, in the easiest way possible, right? take a take an industry and blockchain concepts like crypto that are usually have a large like stigma about them and this abstract idea of trying to digest it. And so we've already done, I would say, amazing job at taking the sort of these foreign concepts and bringing them to Web 2 users. I mean, both my parents actually use Steppin. It's how I introduced NFTs into them and in like a understandable way so they can digest it, and they have far more of an understanding of what Web3 is like, what NFTs are like, through the mechanisms that the Steppin game has done a great job at, tying these ideas and values together. And the other thing we're incredibly excited about in the near future is how we can look to bridge the gap even more, right? So we take our lessons learned from the Steppin mobile game. We continue to build that product, and we're very proud of the Steppin game. And how can we continue to add value into Web3, but also bridge other ideas and notions in Web3 to Web2 users? And so we're going to look to do that by expanding with other products that also bring value to our token. So how can we use GMT and drive more utility to our green metaverse token with our other products by Find Satoshi Labs?
Awesome. And if anybody is interested in the OG Ape Shoebox giveaway, please add your Twitter handle into the YouTube Live chat box and go ahead and subscribe to the Steppin YouTube channel. One more.
And that's at the end of the hour, right? For all the listeners.
Yeah. They'll pick the winner here shortly. Another question for Trevor, just to kind of a follow up on what you're talking about. Where do you see Web3 utility in the years? That's a long time in Web3, man.
That's a long time. It's tough to think that long for myself. But with that being said, I think we've seen the the NFT industry especially really blossom over the past year. And NFTs were around before last year, but it wasn't until people started getting incredibly creative with how we can drive utility in an innovative way that hasn't been done before to not only um, get the attention of people in Web3, but also Web2, right? Like, oh, this is happening with NFTs. Like, I'd like to be a part of this. I'd like to learn more about it. And I think that's just beginning. I continue to see videos and whatever, memes, GIFs, and other things about people not understanding NFTs yet, not understanding crypto yet. And I believe a lot of projects and teams are looking for ways to tap into more Web2 audiences so that we can really understand like core decentralized utility for everybody, which is really important. It shouldn't just be concepts that industry veterans in crypto can understand and apply for whatever they're doing in the blockchain, but for everybody alike. Yeah. So I think we'll see a larger shift towards Web 2 onboarding for all projects in the future.
Right on. Thank you. All right, let's close out. Does anybody have any closing thoughts? We can go around the room. Kelli, you want to leave anything with us?
Yeah, I'm just super excited. I don't know. I mean, Luca, I know, Ktrain, I know what you're talking about now with Luca. It's like you just want to start running, and I've never been a runner, so you're inspiring me to build up to that. So we shall see. And I think you're right. It does come down to the right pair of shoes. So it's an interesting thought to keep in mind. But yeah, no, I'm just super excited. I love the Steppin community. It's so great that, you know, we're getting to be a part of it, and we just love this like ability to get back. And I just think it's a great way to bring people together and, you know, work towards something. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Luca, you got anything for us?
Um, well, I guess again, echoing Kelly, I'm super happy and proud to be involved with Steppin. My whole life, or at least the last 10 years, have been really the most creative and alive in the intersection between technology, running, and charity. And to me personally, Steppin is right there, fits right there. And I still remember when I discovered Steppin, it was like, ta-da, finally. And yeah, I really needed to get involved, and it's amazing. It's a truly a supporting community, start from the founders to the entire community. So yeah, very proud and happy to be involved. And
Awesome.
thank you for
Thank you.
having me today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming on. Trevor, closing thoughts?
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you for hosting, for moderating this live show. It was really great seeing you guys and talking about you know, finding all these values that are at the intersection of these industries, and continue to build in the ecosystem. I'm really excited for the partnership with the Giving Block, and was more than happy that they could accept the GMT token. And I think, we're just getting started by unlocking more partnerships in the industry so that we can drive more utility to our Stepping users, to our holders, investors, and um, to the grander vision of Steppin as a whole.
Awesome. And it looks like we have a winner for the OG Ape shoebox. I believe we're going to tweet at them or contact them or put it in the comments that I can't see right now. Sorry. It looks like it is a Lila Sal, maybe. So congratulations. Enjoy that OG Ape shoebox on the Ape realm. I just want to say thank you to all of our guests. I appreciate you guys coming on and having a good time and sharing all of the insights that you have within Steppin crypto charity and community. It's really fun to talk about things like this. Thanks to all of the listeners and everybody that contributed to the giveaway. Follow Steppin on Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and yeah, thanks everybody. My name is Ktrain. This is Breaking Boundaries. Everybody get out there and burn some energy. Peace out.